What is up, my friends and family? I'm Charmx, and today I'm going to be reacting to 10 bizarre human conditions finally explained by the richest. Now, the richest make great videos, so make sure you go subscribe to them. That link's in the description, as well as the link to the original video. And with that being said, I'm not really sure what to expect from this. I think I've reacted to something similar to this, so I might know a couple of the things on this list. But with that being said, let's begin.
We all know science and medicine have come a long way in the past few decades. After all, we live longer than people did 100 years ago, and there are all sorts of cures and vaccines available to us. That said, there are some diseases that just seem too strange to be real, but they are.
That that kind of escalated fast. I mean, it was just showing these normal pictures, and then it showed some guy with like a horrible disease. We're in for a doozy.
Incredibly fast aging to suffering symptoms you'd expect a vampire to have.
Well, that was progeria.
These diseases are so off the chart and rare that many people have no idea they even exist.
That's a Walking Dead zombie.
Into the world of the strange and unexplained, just be sure to hit that subscribe button. Blasco lines. Did you know we're not that different from zebras? Well, okay, so we don't have tails or hooves, but we do have stripes. Yes, thanks to the way our cells divided and moved around as we grew, humans are covered in invisible lines. So, how do we know that they're there? First, you can apparently see them under UV lights. Second, when people get certain rare skin disorders, they develop along the invisible tracks of our skin, highlighting the Blasco lines in a rather dramatic way. Walking corpse syndrome.
Wait, that wasn't even like a disease. That wasn't even like a disease. That was just something that we all have. And some people who develop like certain skin conditions makes it so you can see it.
This ultra-rare disease is also known as Cotard syndrome. So what is it exactly? Sufferers honestly believe they, or at least a part of their body, no longer exists. In short, they think they are dead. This distorted reality is caused by a malfunction in the brain. It's how one woman honestly believed she smelled of rotting flesh because she was dead. Another believed she was simply a walking corpse, more at home in a graveyard than at school with her friends.
That's crazy. At school with her friends, so the woman must have been like really young, like, I don't know, between 17 to like, I don't know, 13 or something like that. So that girl must have been really young, and she was thinking that kind of stuff. That's crazy.
We have another word for that, zombies. JFS. So what exactly is JFS? It stands for Jumping Frenchman Disorder, which sounds so made up we had to double check to make sure it was real. Turns out, it is. It was first diagnosed in a group of French-Canadian lumberjacks who had been living isolated from the rest of society. Have you ever had a friend jump out from a hiding spot and scare you? It probably made you jump in the air from fright. Now, picture doing that for basically everything. A knock at the door, someone calling your name, a siren off in the distance, even an email notification. All can startle the life out of someone suffering from jumping Frenchman disorder.
That would suck. Maybe it's because, I guess, like, the people were secluded or something like that. Well, that was spicy. No, but that's a very weird condition. I think I've actually heard of it before a long time ago. I mean, it sounds familiar.
Tree man syndrome.
I've heard of this one.
In the medical world, this disease is better known as epidermodysplasia vericiformis.
It's nasty.
This genetic disorder causes sufferers to develop a thick coating of scales and warts, usually on their hands or feet. Surgeries and treatments can reduce the appearance significantly, but there appears to be no known cure to stop the condition from returning. If left unchecked, a sufferer's hands and feet can totally disappear, seemingly transformed into a brown, greenish clump that looks disturbingly like a tree branch.
That is disgusting and very disturbing. I think there's 2 people with it right now that are at least known of. And this person here, I believe it's this guy, he actually had surgery and he got most of it removed. And this was recently, like within the last month or 2, I believe I heard that he got most of his stuff removed. So he can actually, like, you know, use his hands now.
Alice in Wonderland syndrome. People who suffer from Todd syndrome understand exactly why this disease is better known as Alice in Wonderland syndrome. You see, those who have it really do start to see the world around them as Alice did in the famous children's story. How so? Well, objects around them suddenly appear much larger or smaller than they really are. In addition, a sufferer might feel as though they were growing or shrinking dramatically. According to researchers, those who have this disease have healthy eyes and no brain tumors. However, the majority usually suffer from or come from a family with a history of migraines.
That's
Vampire
weird.
disease.
That's very weird. So you start like tripping and think you're either getting bigger or you're getting smaller, and the objects around you are either getting bigger or smaller. I mean, although that's, interesting, and that'd be very interesting to experience, not on an everyday basis.
No, this disease does not make you turn into a bat, want to drink blood, or fall in love with Robert Pattinson. That's a whole different disease. Porphyria, also known as vampire disease, is a rare affliction that causes sufferers to take on some notable traits associated with the Hollywood creatures. It likely contributed to the rise of the mythical vampire when people started seeing the disease hundreds of years ago. These traits include recessed gums that make your teeth look more prominent, sensitivity to sunlight, and yes, an adverse reaction to garlic. It can also make your urine dark red or purple, which we guess would convince people hundreds of years ago that you like to drink blood.
How popular was this like hundreds of years ago? Because if it wasn't that popular, this is not how the myth would have started. But if it was like starting to get kind of popular, like a lot of people had it, or a good portion of people had it, then I could see how the vampire myth would spread.
Pika. You likely remember that kid in class who ate paste, or maybe that
No.
other kid who ate rocks or sticks. Ah, public school memories. In actuality, the strange desire some humans have to eat things like rocks, dirt, paper, and glass is a well-recognized disease.
I remember seeing a video on this from My Strange Addictions. This lady right here, I reacted to this video on a different channel, and this lady right here likes to eat rocks. It's so bizarre. It's so bizarre.
Known as pica, this strange behavior is caused by a mental or emotional disorder that causes the sufferer to crave non-nutritional food. Often someone with pica will also
Miley
have
Cyrus.
a mineral deficiency, which explains why so many pregnant women are known to develop this rather strange condition. Argyria. Would it shatter some of your childhood memories if we told you the Smurfs weren't a mythical group of little people, but a society where everyone was suffering from overexposure to a certain metal? Well, it turns out there are real-life full-size Smurfs. These people have seen their skin change color to a grayish blue.
This guy right here, I'm actually familiar with this guy. This guy, he drank colloidal silver, which is basically, it's like silver in water or something like that. I don't know the exact term, but it's something like silver in water, where it's like diluted in the water. And he started drinking it because of the health benefits, but he drank too much and it turned his skin blue.
Thanks to silver. Researchers say that using medical silver or certain nose drops can introduce small amounts of the metal into the body, which, over time, builds up. Eventually, enough small particles of silver get deposited in the skin that you take on the unusual appearance.
Tin Man
Progeria.
in real life.
This disease seems like something Hollywood might
this is
dream
a
up.
sad
After all,
disease.
progeria sees those affected age so incredibly fast that they are expected to only reach their teenage years. Those few who are affected have limited growth, hair loss, wrinkling skin, organ failure, cardiovascular disease, and generally very fragile bones. These are all things we associate with the very old, yet for someone with progeria, they can be suffering all of these and only be 6 or 7 years old.
Yeah, this is a very sad disease, because the kids who have it, they don't live long. I mean, I've seen like a TED Talk video where the person talking had progeria, and it is quite sad.
While few progeria sufferers make it past 13 years of age, one girl in the Philippines lived until she was 19, with medical experts saying she had the body of a 150-year-old.
Wow.
Alien hand syndrome. The next time you get caught taking something you shouldn't, just blame it on alien hand syndrome. We're not kidding, this is actually a thing. Only a few dozen cases have ever been recognized, and little is known about it. That said, those who suffer from this condition have their limbs move or do things without consciously controlling them. no, the limb doesn't have a mind of its own, and medical experts say that damage or a condition in the brain results in the alien limb. There is no cure, but those who suffer from this bizarre condition have learned to deal with it by giving the limb in question something to hold on to, or even tying it behind their back. Well,
how can you live like that? How could you live with tying your hand behind your back? I mean, I don't think that's like the best option to go with. Anyway, guys, I hope you liked this video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up, pause and share with a friend. If you're new, subscribe and join the family today, and also make sure you go subscribe to the richest. But with that being said, let's begin. Oh, I'm a fucking idiot. I meant to say I'll see you guys next time. I don't know why I said that. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Boop.